Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, The Writing Desk Diaries. I'm Danny, the person behind D. Books, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Okay, today we're kicking off my brand new series, Listen Before You Buy. So instead of committing to a new author I'm not sure matches my vibe, I'm going to listen to their audiobook on Libby first, read it, experience it, sit with it, and then tell you whether it's worth buying the physical copy because your time and your coins matter. So first up, we have The Fall Risk, and I have it on my phone, by Abby Jimenez. I believe it's a contemporary romance. It's a short story that follows Charlotte and Seth, two neighbors who become unexpectedly stuck on the second floor of their apartment building when the staircase is accidentally removed right before Valentine's Day weekend. With no easy way to leave, they spend time together on the shared landing, gradually getting to know one another through conversation, humor, and small acts of kindness. Now, I went in open-minded because this was the first story I have ever read by her, so I wanted to go in with no preconceived notions of how she writes and her stories in general. I'm a banter girl, and the banter was great. I loved their witty commentary, and it made me laugh out loud at times. She can write a snappy exchange, and I really appreciate that. But here's where it kind of fell apart for me. This is an insta love story, and they bonded through trauma dumping. Like, these humans just met each other, and we're already in each other's deepest wounds? No, thank you. That's not romantic to me. That's a red flag. And then there's the stalking. The way it was handled, or rather not handled, was a problem. Stalking is serious. It's not a quirky plot device, and I don't think it should be treated like one. I mean, maybe she didn't mean it like that, but it was off-putting for me. Overall, I gave this 2 stars. It was a hard pass on Abby Jimenez for me. Again, I love the banter. It was really good, but that alone doesn't a good book make. Am I open to potentially reading a full novel of hers? Maybe. It would be an audiobook because I'm not spending my money, because if I'm disappointed by another one of her stories, I'll be pissed off. So if there are ones that are really good and you think I should check them out, let me know in the comments. Next up, we have 50 Shades of Grey, an erotic romance or contemporary romance. I bought this audiobook in my late 20s and had 3 hours left on it for years, and I finally finished it. This book is about Anastasia Steele, a college student. She interviews wealthy businessman Christian Grey, and they're immediately drawn to each other. He pursues her, but with conditions, a controlling relationship contract that introduces her to his world of BDSM. She's inexperienced and naive. He's damaged and domineering. She tries to love him. He tries to let her. It doesn't go well. So here's what I'll say. The premise was very interesting. That's why I got it. Christian Grey is a deeply troubled man, and there's context to why he is the way that he is. I'll leave it at that. The dialogue was unrealistic to me, and the power dynamic between these two characters is deeply problematic in ways I don't think the author fully reckoned with. And don't get me started on Mrs. Robinson. I mean, girl, are we serious? I was really checked out after the whole Mrs. Robinson situation. But then it was also the BDSM representation. Now, keep in mind, I'm not like a BDSM expert. But from my very limited understanding, a real BDSM relationship is built on mutual trust, consent, vulnerability, and aftercare is important. If I'm wrong, someone in the BDSM community or someone who's more informed about the BDSM community, please correct me. Still, what's portrayed in this book just didn't feel right. It felt like abuse, and I feel like it did a disservice to an entire community. I also feel like the author didn't do her due diligence in researching the BDSM community. Overall, this was a 2-star read for me. I feel like I should have given it a 1. It is a hard pass. The premise had potential, but the execution missed the mark, and I don't think I would recommend this. But again, if you want to read it and make an informed decision of your own, may the force be with you. Because as for me and my life, no thank you. Although I will be honest, I did almost want to read 50 Shades Darker. and get to 50 Shades Freed, or 50 Shades Freed, and yeah, 50 Shades Darker than 50 Shades Freed. But no thank you. Now, Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden, a psychological thriller. This is my very first Freida McFadden read. I'd read a few reviews and listened to a few of my favorite bookstagrammers talk about her books, so I thought I'd give her a try, and I'm so glad I did. Y'all can see the smile. I'll put the synopsis somewhere on the screen, but basically it's about Debbie Mullen is losing it. For years, she has compiled all of her best advice into her column, Dear Debbie, where the wives of New England come for sympathy and neighborly advice. Through her work, Debbie has heard from countless women who are ignored, belittled, or even abused by their husbands. And Debbie does her best to guide them in the right direction. Or at least she did. These days, Debbie's life seems to be spiraling out of control. She just lost her job. Something strange is happening with her teenage daughters, and her husband is keeping secrets according to the tracking app she installed on his phone. Now Debbie's done being the bigger person. She's done being reasonable and practical. It's time to take her own advice, and now it's time for payback against all the people in her life who deserve it the most. First of all, this was an amazing book. Debbie is so unhinged in the best possible way. And at first I thought she was a doormat, but no ma'am. Her true colors started to show quickly, and I loved every single second of it. Miss Freida has my ass in a chokehold at the end, and I was like, what? Who? What is happening? I thought I knew certain shit, but I did not know said shit, and that was awesome. Is this worth your coins? Yes, 1,000% yes. 5 stars. Highly recommend. Did I buy a physical copy? I absolutely am. Am I reading it again? Yes. I'm going to reread it so I can annotate, because I need to experience this chaos all over again. If you like twisty murder mysteries with humor, complex women who surprise you, and endings that genuinely catch you off guard, Dear Debbie is definitely for you. So lastly, Book Lovers, a contemporary romance or rom-com adjacent, because that romance was secondary for sure, by Emily Henry. Book Lovers follows Nora Stevens, a literary agent who visits a small town with her sister Libby, who keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a brooding bookish editor. And if Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero. But as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. I wanted to love this book. I did, but I didn't. I was disappointed that I didn't love it. The banter and flirty back and forth between Nora and Charlie was witty and funny. Like, I laughed, which was great. But this didn't feel like enemies to lovers. I mean, these two are clearly into each other from the start, and they're playfully sparring, and they know what they want. They know that they want each other. Like, my biggest issue was Nora. I understand her backstory. She was parentified after losing her mother and took on way too much responsibility for her sister Libby. That makes total sense. But as an adult, she keeps making frustrating, irrational decisions, and the book barely challenges her on it. And then there's her relationship with her sister Libby. It's giving codependency. This book felt like it was more about Nora and Libby versus Nora and Charlie. And when Libby decides to move her whole family to this small town, Nora has a complete meltdown. Girl, please. Your sister has a whole ass family. Get your sky miles. Visit during the holidays like the rest of us and go home. I also wish Libby had checked that behavior more instead of enabling it. It's called having healthy boundaries, even with your siblings. I thought the romance was fine, but I was never emotionally invested. I didn't care about these characters at all. I didn't care about their journeys. And I want to be emotionally invested in the stories that I read. Like, let me root for somebody or have an emotional response to something, like anything. There was also a lot of telling instead of showing, in my opinion, especially in the internal monologue and spicy scenes. We get it, girl. He makes your core tingle. Can we go a little deeper, please? Like, what else, girl? Overall, this was a 3-star. Maybe a 2.5. I finished it, but it just didn't land for me emotionally. This was my first Emily Henry. Apparently not the best entry point. I may try People We Meet on Vacation and give her another shot. But Book Lovers, it was just okay. I literally fell asleep twice while reading it. So the next lineup will include The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I heard she was a really good writer, so I'm curious to get into some of her works. Hooked, Emily McIntyre. I was listening to a bookstagrammer that I watch, and she said that this was really good. And then I'm not sure. I'll have to pick. Oh, Lisa Jewell, Invisible Girl. I'm not sure if I will be into Lisa Jewell, so we want to try Invisible Girl, the audiobook, give her a go. And I'll determine then if I want to continue to read some of her books. I think she's a hit or miss. So that's the lineup for next time. What did you all think of these books? Did you love them, hate them, or think they were just okay? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll stick around so we can learn and grow together. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, happy creating.